Hello everybody! Today is a time when we finish something and it will be a plastic scale model from the previous video on this channel, and it's MiniArt's tractor Lanz Buldog in 1/35 scale. It almost assembled except a few moments. These wheels were glued with a small drops of super glue to show you and for myself a whole picture of assembled model. And now I divided them for more comfortable painting process. The same situation with some other details, like this smoke pipe. Interesting and high detailed model from MiniArt. One thing that is needed to be done before painting is wiring somewhere here where is engine. It's very good that you can find detailed scheme in our instruction how that pipes look like. For this objective I take a small piece of copper wire, bend it and fix it on a small drops of super glue in form of gel. And additionally, for more comfortable process of assembling of these small pieces of metal, I drill a small holes in our engine. Okay, you will need a little bit patience for this process. First pipe completed and two others too. Photo-etched parts applied onto spikes and wheels also on them. And that is all preparations for painting. Okay, let's go. As a primary layer I choose Vallejo's acrylic primary in a yellow color this time for better contrast with the grey plastic of our model. Almost all of my models I paint with airbrush. Wheels and after them the main part of our model. After primering process, the next stage, and the tractor was covered in a neutral grey color from ICM. It's also acrylic paints. These paints can be diluted with distillated water or with the same thinners as for Vallejo's paints. Okay, after that add some colors on my wheels using tire one from Vallejo and orange rusty from ICM. Good tip in a painting wheels is using of such a ruler with rounds of different diameters. Now some details. For radiator, polished glue will be a good solution, but before it I apply masks using modeling tape, because I want to receive tidy result. It's done. Using the same color and a small brush I covered our metallic wires with paint. Headlights were covered in a dark color, caps on the hood in a brown one. If you check real photos of Lanz Buldog or just simply a box art of this model, you will find out that the real tone of tractor has a gray-blue color. So filter blue one helps me to achieve such a tone on this model. This is ammo mix filter, is too concentrated in a bottle, so I recommended you to dilute it with a thinner in a proportion 1:1, I think. It's an easy process, just cover all the model with a filter using a white brush, but you have to remove all extra filter from the model, or in another case you receive a blue wash, and that's not good. Fixed all previous work with a gloss coat, looks good, almost like in this picture instruction. Smaller details were coated with a gloss too. I use Mecha varnish from Vallejo. It gives a fine glossy surface and a strand surface on a model, which is important for next stages as washing and decals applying. So about decals or decals, here they are, some markings, nameplates, quality of them is good, I can say. That nameplates were hard to put on, whereas workplace of our crewmen located, but it seems I made it okay. Also here is a smaller problem with these decals. For example, this license plate has smaller width than metallic detail. And I hope I can fix it using masks and airbrush. These metallic details I decided to cover in a red-brown tone, and after that using interesting method I use sandpaper and erase excess of paint from protrusive parts. This is a very simple method, but gives us a great result, highly recommended. Next stage, a dark brown wash from Ammo MIG. It helps us to highlight different details on our model, then a little bit chipping and scratching using metallic tones. After that, a little bit of oil paints, and all of this work was covered with a matte acrylic coat. Matte coat approaches us to the final result, and in this stage glossy model became more realistic. Well, if we talk not about civil cars. Then the most interesting part is assembling of all our separated parts together in one model. Nameplates, I glue them with the help of super glue and tweezers. There is only one attempt for this clear work, so be careful. Few words about additional weathering. Decided to use such liquid dusty potions and splash them a little using a white brush. And traditionally a small amount of dry dusty pigment in the end, and in this case only using them on my wheels. And finally, yes, finally our model completed. As for me, I received a cool result. Interesting and bright model of a German tractor produced before Second World War. By the way, glasses for the headlights were from the box. Maybe some of you can do better or more effective weathering on such a model. I'm not an expert in weathering, but I think the result is fine. There were not serious problems during the assembling process, but model not so easy because of smaller and some breakable details, but it is interesting. Can recommend it to one of MiniArt's tractors, maybe for those who loves civil mechanisms or vehicles, or for those who yawns from the tanks. Okay, I hope you enjoy watching this video. You can support me if you want by a subscription or pressing a like, or maybe leaving some feedback if you want to say something. Anyway, thank you to all of you and good luck. Bye!